Okay, hello everybody. Hopefully everything's working now. We're going live. Welcome, it's Friday, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know Friday means mock speaking exams. So in just a moment, we're going to fire up the Zoom. We'll probably use Zoom today for most of this, and we're going to do some mock speaking exams. So if you would like to talk to me today to get a bit of a practice of what it's like speaking to a native. Also, I hope to be able to give everyone a bit of feedback and hopefully give you a ballpark of what your estimated band score is today. So if you are interested in that, then don't hesitate to join that Zoom call in just a moment. So before we do begin, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Say hello, tell me where you're from, anything you'd like before we get started. Tell me where you're Okay, so what I've done today is we're not going to do the complete exam. What I've done is sort of broken it down a little bit so that every person can do part 1, part 2 and part 3. So the exams will be a little bit shorter, which gives us a little bit more time to do feedback, and also it will mean I can talk to more people for longer. So that's what we'll do today, and we'll see where it takes us. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the schedule. So if you come to the website, the IELTSGrind.com, come to live stream schedule here, and you can see what we're up to. So we are going live every day in July, and we'll be obviously going live in August as well, but in July it's every single day. And make sure that you come tomorrow for Michael. Michael's doing a group speaking class, and any of the feedback that I give you today, you can work on that tomorrow. You can find other students to practice with, and Michael is going to be jumping in and out of our Discord group. So if you come to Discord, which is totally free to join, so we have all these different speaking rooms, and tomorrow they should be full of people practicing. Okay, so that's what you can do tomorrow. But obviously today we're going to start this Zoom call. So let's see who's joined me in the Zoom. Okay, so tell you what, just a moment, I'm gonna have to set this up again. So just give me a moment, talk amongst yourselves. Let me just sort this out, because I need to do something a little bit better. So just give me 1 second. Okay, let me just change a little something here. Just make sure we've got the right information. Okay, should be fine. There we go. Let's get rid of that information. Cool. Okay, so I'll update the information also in our chat. Find our live. Should be going live somewhere. Let me also put it in here. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's try this again. Let me launch the meeting again, and hopefully we get everyone back. Okay, so if you would like to join the Zoom meeting, you should have your details. They should be in the yeah, cool. Okay, cool. A couple of people jumping in. So let's start off with the first exam. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So let's get the first person in, get the party started. So just let me know when you can hear me. And we'll make sure that we can hear our first victim. I mean, our first student.
Hello?
Hello. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Cool. You can hear me okay?
Yeah. I'm doing great.
Okay, and we can hear you. Right, so just remind us of your name and which country you're coming from. I think I remember, but you can tell everyone else.
Yeah, my name is Maria. I come from Vietnam.
Okay, great. So let's do another practice, Maria, and we'll get going. So just grab my pen and let's put a timer so we don't overrun too much. Okay, so for this exam, I want you to pretend that you have a job, okay? Just for this exam. So if you don't have a job, just imagine you're talking about your dream job. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it. Right, let's begin by talking about your job. What's your job?
Well, in my future, I want to become a doctor. Yeah. Actually, I adore and admire this profession because doctors are very enthusiastic and all loved by people.
Okay. So why did you choose this type of job? Or why will you choose this job?
Yeah, I have there are several reasons for my choice because in the news every day I come across many poor people that don't that suffer from a serious disease or uh, or they didn't have enough money to do to take a cure. Then I feel that in the future I can become a profession that I can help them.
And what are the most challenging tasks you have to do?
Well, I think I will have to work all the time and face up to many challenges like the serious diseases or if we are too tired, yeah, we can't continue because the work is so much. We have a heavy workload.
Okay. So now let's talk about drinking water. Do you like to drink water?
Yeah, of course. I mean, water is doesn't have any taste, but they are really healthy and also help improve our health. If we live without water, we can die just uh, just 3 days later.
Do you think
Within
people drink enough water?
Yeah, most people drink enough water to maintain their life. Such in my country, everybody all drink about 2 liters per day. But however, I think in the poor country or in that country is high is hydrated, then they probably don't have enough water to drink.
What can happen if you can't access clean drinking water?
Yeah. Unclean water can result in many disease related to bacteria or fungi. Yeah, many serious and extreme diseases that we can face.
So let's talk about plants now.
Yeah.
Do you often buy plants?
Yes, I am deeply into marvelous plants or flowers, so I frequently buy it from a small shop near my house. And although I don't have much time to choose my best plants, I always pick one of them every week.
Okay. So let's jump to part 2 because it's nearly the end of part 1. So part
Yes,
2.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to describe a type of plant which is natural to your country. Okay. You're going to have to talk about this for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start talking, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say, and during this time you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so let me give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say. Can you see the screen, by the way? Do you have the information in front of you?
Wait me, please.
Okay, I'll wait for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it.
Cool. Okay, so let's give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say.
Yeah.
Okay, Maria. So let's go to the next part. Okay. So remember, you have to talk for up to 2 minutes, and I would like you to start speaking now, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. My country is famous for its diverse plant So there are many plants that we uh, we are really familiar with, but if I have to pick one, I would probably pick rice at first. Rice by far by far the most important food in my country. We grow it near our house in the yellow fields, and um when the harvest comes, we uproot it, then produce the pure rice without rubbish near it. You know, as I've mentioned before, rice is the main food in my country. So I I eat it. I eat it every single day. Then the yellow field is really near my house, so I can see it every day. Rice is uh, rice is really important. I must say that because it it makes Vietnam become one of the most rice export, the
Okay, thank you.
strongest. Yeah.
So, did you eat rice today?
Yes, of course, we eat it every single day.
Yeah, me too. I eat a lot of rice. Okay, so let's move on. So we were talking about plants. So let's talk about the environment in general.
Yeah.
What sort of impact has humanity had on the natural environment?
Sorry?
What sort of impact has humanity had on the natural environment?
Yeah, I must say that human is responsible for both of positive and negative impacts on our environment. Um, Regarding about negative the positive impact, they have done many schemes or plans to maintain the biodiversity, such as preserving the rare animals or plants. And when we talk about, I think the positive side is much more terrible because we are put pressure on the environment. We destroy the forest. We make the river dirty, and we kill a lot of animals to pick their food or uh, their body.
Okay, so what has been the most damaging piece of technology for the environment?
Yeah, I think it is the nuclear bomb. It just happened frequently in the past, and exploded, when it explodes, and can cause a lot of damage to our environment. First, it can destroys all the plant or soil near it and makes it badly polluted.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned nuclear bombs and weapons of mass destruction. Do you feel that the environment, damaging the environment, is that a good argument to ban these types of weapons?
I partially agree with your statement because as the terrible impact that nuclear bombs or weapons had, we have to forbid it. But if a war happened, we have to protect our country, so we have to use it.
Okay.
I think in this peace world, we should prohibit them.
Okay, excellent. So let's have a look at a few of my notes. Cool. So overall, I think you did very well. You seem very happy to talk about everything again. So obviously, we've already spoken a few weeks ago. So just looking at my notes, I like the way you're trying to use a lot of really good vocabulary. We're talking about the job, and I liked how you said you adore and admire this profession. That was really nice. We're talking about the jobs, the challenges. So with this question, what are the most challenging tasks you have to do? I don't feel like you really concentrated on tasks. So if you have a question like this, you would have to say, oh, the most challenging task would be giving people injections because I don't like needles. Or the most challenging task would be, I don't know, trying to stay fit and healthy with long working hours, perhaps. So
yeah, because I nearly forgot what I have to talk about.
Yeah. So a good technique here is if you can paraphrase the question almost when you start. So generally what we like our students to do is to directly answer the question. And in that you can almost paraphrase what the question is. So you would say, oh, for me the most difficult task would be giving injections. Then in your head you kind of know what you're going to say. So that could be a good technique.
Thank you.
So what else? So throughout I noticed that you were using a lot of good words, and you were trying to say some words. Sometimes the pronunciation wasn't quite there, but because of the context I knew exactly what you meant, so that was okay. So some examples of this were, we're talking about water, and you mentioned thirst, but you didn't quite get the th sound, but I did understand what you meant. Also we were talking about I think we're talking about swimming pools, and you just so you mentioned I think we were talking about water, and the word pool as in swimming pool came up, but there was just a bit of a mix up between the r sound and the l sound. So I think this is a common speaking error for people in Vietnam. It's a common speaking error for people in Taiwan as well. But I understood what you meant, but it is a sound to work on. And dehydrated. So you didn't quite get the sound, but I understood what you meant from context. But that's good. That's a high level word. Even if you don't quite get it right, you're using it, and that's great. So for everyone listening, so we're talking about drinking water here, clean drinking water. A good word is portable, Portable, portable water. Portable water is water that you can drink. It's clean water, so that is a good word, high level word for this subject. What else? Just generally quite good. The only thing I would say is in part 2 you had a little bit more repetition. Quite a lot you were saying, you make a mistake and you corrected yourself. Try and avoid that as much as possible. If you make a mistake, just move on. actually, I think that repeating and correcting yourself, that actually would highlight the mistake more than if you just make the mistake. So don't worry about making mistakes. Right up until band 7, you can still make mistakes. It's fine. If you're going for band 9, that's a problem, but most people aren't. So you were talking about rice. You said rice is an important food in Vietnam. You could use the word staple food, staple. A staple food, like in Europe, would be bread. It's something that's eaten every single day. So maybe in the UK, a kebab or chips would be staple food. But yeah, staple. It means a food that is eaten very, very often. Okay. And you were mentioning yellow fields. For rice, we would say rice paddy, paddy. A rice paddy is the field that you grow rice in. Yeah. And what else did I write here? Yeah. So the thing I liked is that when you didn't understand the question or you didn't hear the question, you asked me to repeat it. That's absolutely fine. That's perfect. And the only criticism I would say is at the end. What did we talk about at the end? Yeah, we were talking about the technology. And I asked you, basically, do you think that environmental damage is a good argument for banning nuclear weapons? And you said, I partially agree with your statement, but I asked you a question. I didn't make a statement. So just be careful of that, okay? But overall, very good. So again, I think I said before, we're sort of band 6 to 7, but definitely moving towards 7. You can just keep working on what I said last time and what I said today. And of course, join Michael tomorrow. But the best thing, Maria, is this video, as soon as we end the live stream, you can go back and listen to yourself. And you can see where you think you made mistakes, where you think you can improve your answers. And that will really help you as well. Okay, so thank you for talking to me today. I will talk to you again another time. Okay?
Yeah.
So see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get another person in. Let me get another speaking test ready to go. And I think we've got Sarah, so if you can let me know when you can hear me.
Hello?
Hello. So is Sarah, yes?
Yes.
And which country are you joining us from today?
From Taiwan.
Oh, from Taiwan. Excellent. I know it well.
Sorry, I have a question. Because the last time you say this week's supposed to give somebody they haven't got a chance to speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I was speak to you last week, so it's like okay if I join again.
Well, you're here now. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
I'll try and talk to everyone, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate everything you do.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah. Okay. So guys, don't leave the Zoom call. You're going to be next, but we'll talk to Sarah first. Okay. So let's do it. Right. So for this one, so let's begin by talking about your hometown.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Taipei, which is the capital city in Taiwan. But actually, I'm living on the outskirts of the city. I'm in Nangang district. So my hometown is actually a quiet neighborhood.
Okay. What do you love most about your hometown?
I would say, as I just mentioned, I live in a very quiet neighborhood, which I think it's also the thing I enjoy the most because I don't like a busy travel. I don't like busy traffic in the city. So I think this is the best part of my neighborhood. And during the night, it's really quiet, and we have one or two little playground. So you can see parents take their children to have some fun time there. I think it's also very enjoyable as well.
So if you could change one thing about your hometown, what would it be?
I would say if we can have more buses running, and that would be really great because we don't have any MRT station nearby. And for the people like me who doesn't have a car, the buses is the only way. Not the only way, because you can take taxi as well, but most people waiting for the bus every day. So I think if we can get more frequently schedule of the buses, that would be great.
So let's talk about food now. What is a popular dish from your country?
Popular dish. Oh, I think there's plenty of them, like Chinese dish. They're also popular. If we're talking about the food or the dish we have in during festival season or special event, I would say maybe rice cake, fish, and dumplings. But if we're talking about like street food, like in the night markets, I would say fried chicken or stinky tofu.
Lovely. Is food an important part of your daily life?
In my daily life, I think it is. Although I do try to have more balanced diet and try to eat less food, but I think it's still important part because it gives me energy for my day.
How has food consumption changed in your country?
I would say I think fast food or junk food still take a part in our society for sure, especially for a younger generation. But I think more and more people start eating healthy food or unprocessed food, or even buying organic food recently, because healthy care problem is more and more. I mean, people get more aware of their healthy.
Okay, so let's talk about rivers now. Are there many rivers in your country?
Yes, I think so. Although I don't know much about it. Like most of rivers, I don't know the name even in Mandarin. I feel a little bit embarrassed to share this, but that's so true. But there's a river just running by next to my house. I mean, in our neighborhood, and it's go like all the way to the next neighborhood. So many people walking by the river every day, like every afternoon.
Okay, great. Is that the Keelung River? I used to walk my dog along the Keelung River.
No,
Okay.
not that one.
Not that one, okay. Right, so let's move on to part two.
Okay.
So, I would like you to describe a way water is used in your country. remember, you'll have to talk about this for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start speaking, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say. And during this time, you can take notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So can you see the screen in front of you?
Give me a second.
Yeah, so you can have the information while you think what you want to say.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say, and then after that, you'll start talking. Okay? So let's go. Oh, looks like 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. So, so I'd like you to start speaking now, please.
Okay. I think water is definitely a vital part of our life. For example, like people say, if you want to keep healthy or even lose weight, you have to drink at least like 8 cups of water a day. And that's something I'm trying to do. So I think it's very important to our health to keep hydrated. Then also when I think about water, I'm thinking about the swimming pool because we have a lovely swimming pool just in our neighborhood. And especially during summer season, you can see plenty of people like soaking themselves in the swimming pool because it's cool you down and it's a very fun activity. However, when it comes to the water in the nature, I think I was thinking about the waterfalls. There are a lot of waterfalls in Taiwan. Some like really tiny one, but some are the big one. And I think water like it just have like magic or smoothing power. Like you can give you feel like refresh and relieve your stress. And every time when I go somewhere like close to the water or even jump into the river for swimming, I just feel so recharge my energy and sometimes even feel peaceful because the water like. And also we have a lot of activity like outdoor activity close to the ocean as well.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
So is water used in a good way in Taiwan?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's move on. I'm hoping the Zoom call doesn't cut out. If it does, then we'll start another meeting. Okay, so we're talking about water. So let's talk about drinking water in general. Should rich countries help developing countries secure clean water sources?
I think if they do, it will be really great because if they don't have clean water, they can cause a lot of disease. I think rich countries should help them if they have a chance or if they have ability to do that.
Okay. What are the best ways to save water?
To save water?
Mm-hmm.
I would say just turn off the tap when you're not using it. Don't let the water like just keep running when it's not necessary.
So you mentioned turning off the tap. Is this something that people in your country are taught to do?
Yes, I believe so. Like, the people around me, at least, they all do the same thing. Like, even in our family as well.
Okay. Who is to blame for the poor quality of drinking water in many countries?
Who is to blame?
Yeah.
I think governments or individuals, they don't have to take the responsibility for that, because government should set some regulation about people shouldn't, or the company shouldn't dump any the chemistry to the water or to the river. But also I think the individual also, it's our obligation to just don't dump any trash in the river or the toilet, I think. So I think both of them should take the same responsibility for that.
Okay, great. So let's stop it there because I'm worried we'll lose each other in this call. But
Okay.
So overall, again, I think that's very good. You seem very comfortable with the topics, even though the part 2 one was a bit of a tricky one, and I chose that on purpose because it is a tricky one. But I think you dealt with it well. So in terms of fluency,
But I'm a little bit like disorganized.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I should talk about.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And if I just choose one, I don't think it will be long enough.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it's okay because you were on topic, and even if you did speak about more than one topic, it's okay because you are still talking about the right thing. So that wasn't a problem. So yeah, overall, I think it's good. The only thing I would say is just occasionally there are some missed opportunities in terms of grammar. For example, we were talking about parents. You said parents take their children to the play area.
Yeah.
In what you said, we could have said parents who take their children. Use a relative clause there. Little things like that, they're just missed opportunities. And for example, we said, talking about buses, most people waiting for a bus, most people wait because it's a habit. So we use present simple. It's just little things like that. You can just, again, listen back to this. Maybe you'll pick up on a few things. But you're using some good vocabulary, talking about food, fast food, junk food, unprocessed food, organic food. All of that's very good. Just watch out again for the difference between, we may have spoken about this last time, health and healthy. You need to look after your health. You need to stay healthy. So just watch out for the little things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so overall, I think I might have said this, sort of the 6 to 7 band. That's what I would say. So you can go and work on a few things like that, what we said. Tomorrow with Michael, he's doing a group speaking class. And it's Taiwan time, so it's perfect for you. Just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, just work on fixing those little errors that are common for Chinese speakers. And if you ask Michael about it tomorrow, he'll tell you common things that you can work on to push up your grade. Okay, so let's move on, and I will talk to you another time. Thank you, Sarah.
Sorry, could you say could you say something like what's the best strategy to answer the question, like the part 2 one, like this one?
Yeah, so you've got different strategies. Okay, I think I just lost the meeting, but I will. I'll start up another meeting, guys. So, to answer Sarah's question, the best strategy for this part 2, you've got 2 different ways of doing it that work quite well. Because you've got that 1 minute to prepare. So what you would do is you can use what's called the question method, where basically you're thinking of lots and lots of questions for yourself that you're then going to answer. Or you can use what's called a story method, where basically you're telling the examiner a story, and within that story you're really trying to think, how can I use different grammatical structures? So you might start the story in the past, talk how it's relevant to the present, and maybe talk about some future elements to try and give yourself a range of grammar. But if we're going to do this, describe a way water is used in your country, it is a tricky one, I have to admit. I did it on purpose. So I might say one of the most interesting ways that water is used in my country is actually for people to live on it. By this I mean England is famous for its canal system, and in fact Birmingham, which is the second largest town in England, has more canals than Venice. And what many people do, especially from London, is they live on the river. And this is an interesting use of water. In the past, though, these canals were used in industry. And okay, so I won't do the full 2 minutes, but this is what I would do. You're telling a bit of a story. I'm trying to, as I went through, I'm like, oh no, I'm not talking about the past. So I started talking about the past, and this is what you're trying to do. So during my 1 minute of preparation, I'm going to pick on some specific details, and I'm going to think of some key words that will jog my memory to help me talk about different areas. And really the best thing to do with part 2 is to practice lots and lots and lots. I remember the first time I had to do a part 2 as part of an interview, and it was tricky. Okay, so for some reason the Zoom it cut out, so they're only giving me 40 minutes now for some reason. So what we'll do is we'll start another Zoom call, and we'll get a few more people in on it, and we'll do some more speaking tests. Okay, so hopefully everyone's still with me, and we'll do some more speaking tests if we can. Yeah. So let me send the new code. Just give me a moment. So obviously for these speaking tests, these live streams, we're limited on time because we can only talk to so many people of an evening. So what we are going to do, we're going to open this up at some point, and you can actually book a mock speaking test with us, and we will sort that out. There are different ways that we can do this, and we'll talk about that. But basically, what I want to ask you guys is, do you find this useful? Is this something that you find a useful service? Is it something that's going to help you with your IELTS journey? If you think it is, tell me in the chat, because we can carry on doing these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the description, and I'm going to find the chat, and I'm going to put the new code in. Yeah, so the new code should be now pinned at the top. Okay, and we'll go. So we've done this one, we've done this one, and we've got another speaking test. So let me start up a new Zoom meeting, and we'll see who wants to join me this time. Okay, so the meeting has started. So let me know if you can find the new code. Start joining the new Zoom meeting. And again, if this one ends, we'll start up another meeting. So I've got 6 brand new tests. We're going to do at least 6 tonight, and see what time it is when we finish, and see what we want to do. Okay, great. So we've got, let's start. Okay, so just just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so right, so we should be able to be ready to go. Hopefully this will work now. Again, I was putting the details in the chat just in case something's gone wrong. Okay, so let's see if I can launch this now. Okay, so guys, let me know if you've got any problems joining. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, so let me know when you can hear me in Zoom, if it's connected and everything.
Hello.
Hello, excellent. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. And let's just check that we can hear you. Okay, good. So just tell us what is your name and which country are you calling us from?
Well, my full name is Parmitko and I'm from India.
Okay. So Pamir, am I saying that right? Is it close?
Yes.
Okay. Right, so let's get started. Let's do this. Okay, so for this practice test, if you don't have a job, can you just pretend like you do, and you can talk about your dream job if you want, okay? So it's just a practice. In the real exam, the examiner would have 2 sets of questions prepared, but I've only got the ones for jobs, so I'm sorry. Right, so let's begin by talking about your job. So what do you do?
Oh, Well, I'm a doctor at the moment, and I find my job quite interesting, as well as because doctors save life of people, and by saving people's life, you get a number of blessings from people. So I admire my job.
Was it difficult to get your job?
Well, yes, it's hard to get job in India. Okay. Especially because you have to study a lot to become a doctor, especially because it's hard to become because you have to save people's life and they are in your hands. So yes, it's hard.
Do you get on with your boss?
Pardon?
Do you get on with your boss?
Well, uh, I'm not.
Is your
What
boss
are you
listening?
asking? Can you please speak?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, do you have a good relationship with your boss? Is your boss a good person?
well, yes. My boss is very good person. He's quite friendly and cooperative with me. Not me, with everyone, I would say. And he always advises us a right thing. So yes, he's a good person.
So now let's talk about coats. Do you often wear a coat?
Well, I usually wear coats and so in winters, because in winters due to cold weather you have to wear coats. Apart from it, uh, there are only some occasions in summer where I wear coats.
Are coats considered smart?
Well, I think it gives you a different look. Uh, by wearing it, you look quite smarter. Yes, I think so. Uh, I also have a coat, and I can wear it with um, any pant, any jeans or t-shirt. It saves my times as well as I look stunning. So in this way, I kill two birds with a stone.
What's the best type of material for a coat?
Well, actually, I don't have better knowledge about it. Anyhow, I would say cotton because I don't know much about the materials.
Okay. So I'd like to ask you about wildlife now. Do you have
Okay.
local wildlife in your city?
Well, yes, I'd say people locally, if we say we have a number of animals like cow, dogs, cats, and yes, we have wildlife locally.
In what ways can people help local wildlife?
They can protect them by if people find them in streets, they can send them to the zoos so that um, they don't harm people. And secondly, by providing providing them the food and shelter. And I think in this way people can help.
Can some wild animals be dangerous?
Pardon?
Can some wild animals be dangerous?
Oh, well, yes. There are some animals in my country which are dangerous. For example, a tiger. It's tiger and a lion. They are quite dangerous. If they find someone in their way, they can even kill them. And in our streets, we find cows, due to which a number of accidents happen. So yes, they can be harmful.
Okay. So let's move on. Oh, great. That's good. So, I would like you to describe a famous animal from your country. You're going to have to talk about this for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start speaking,
Okay.
you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say. And during that time, you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, can you see the screen and the information in front of you? Yeah.
Um,
If not, I can read the information to you so you can think about it.
uh, can you please repeat? Can you please read? I'm unable
Yeah.
to see.
Okay. So the information is describe a famous animal from your country. You should say what it is, where it lives, how many of them exist, and explain why it is important for your country. Just remember those bits where it says you should say, that is just to help you. If you don't talk about that, it's absolutely okay. But just talk about a famous animal from your country. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say.
Okay.
Okay, so remember you have to talk about this for up to 2 minutes, and I'd like you to describe a famous animal from your country. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. Well, here I'm going to talk about my favorite animal in my country. It's tiger, and it's our national animal, and it is found in most states of my country. I have seen tiger in zoos in my city, and um, mainly it's found in forest of Gir and Rajasthan. It's the most beautiful wild animal ever found on Earth, according to me. It has golden skin, and some species have uh, black strips, which make their body even more gorgeous. And we also find white tigers in many parts of my country. It has sharp teeth and nails. It also possesses a powerful smell, and it has sharp eyesight that can be used in targeting and hunting its prey in the forest. It's a highly dangerous animal, and it can eventually kill anyone who comes in its way. And apart from it, it is multi-skill animal. It can run as fast as 70 kilometers an hour, and it can also climb trees and even swim in rivers and lakes. And mm, however, humans are killing tigers just for their skin and to decorate their houses and to make various products from their teeth and skin. And tigers is now considered endangered species in some part of my country. And anyhow, government is taking a lot of steps to just conserve this, to protect this uh, gorgeous animal in my country.
Okay, thank you. So, have you seen a tiger in the wild?
Pardon, sir?
Have you seen a tiger in the wild? Well, maybe
in
in the wild. Probably
It's
not,
really
because
not possible.
you're talking to me now, so probably not. Okay, let's move on. Right, so we were talking about animals. Let's talk about animals in general. Why are some animals now endangered?
Well, as I aforementioned, that people kill animals just for their skin to decorate their houses and from various products. Apart from it, there are various medicines which which are, which is which are made from animals' uh, tooth and nails. So I think that's the reason why some animals are endangered nowadays.
Okay. Whose responsibility is it to preserve endangered species?
Oh well, firstly, it's a responsibility of the government, and because government, if government take the initiative, then the people will, then the people would follow them. And secondly, it's not wrong to say that individual have a great role to play in it. If they want to protect the animal, they can by just not killing them and or by informing the authorities about some people who are involved in such practices. So, yes, in this way, we can protect.
What's more important, natural habitats or farmland for food?
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, is that an endangered animal in the background? So,
Well, yes, it's a dog.
okay, so the question was, what's more important, natural habitats or farmland for food?
Well, I think both are important in their own respective ways. Um, Farmlands can provide many. I think both are important in their way. I don't know what to say much about it.
So, if humanity has to make a choice between our species and endangered animals, should we choose us or them?
Well, nowadays people have become selfish, so I think they choose their own species rather than endangered animals. Uh, um, Honestly speaking, I think we have to choose both. Yes.
Okay, it's a tricky question. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so overall, I think that's very good. You seem very comfortable with most of the topics. There's nothing that you're really struggling with, which is great. And you're using some great phrases, some great vocabulary, and you snuck in an idiom. I think that's our first idiom this evening. That's really good. So all very well done. So the only thing I would say is, so one thing I noticed is a lot of the time you're not using articles, so an, or the. I feel this is a pronunciation error. It's not a grammar error. Okay? So these types of words are not easy to hear in English because we don't stress them. You've just got to be very aware that you need to stress them a little bit more. For example, whenever you were talking about government, you should have been saying the government, because it's the government in India. So just make sure you're aware of using articles when you speak. That will be important. For example, we were talking about tigers, and it's, the famous animal, it's a tiger rather than it's tiger. And I think it's a pronunciation thing. It's not a grammar thing. You know what an article is. It's just you don't hear them when I speak, so you're not using them. Okay, so that's something to practice. So your part 2, I think you did a very good job. The only thing is, a lot of the words you were using weren't the best words. So I'll give you some examples. So you're talking about the tiger's skin. I would probably talk about its fur. So its hair, its fur. So that would have been a better word to use. You were talking about the tiger's nails. So you and I, we have nails, but they have claws. So this is just showing you that you can choose a topic like animals and learn a little bit of vocabulary for them. You know, their tails, their fangs, their claws, their fur. And this would just improve your score because it's the right word in the right situation. And for example, you mentioned the tiger has a powerful smell, which maybe it does, but I think you meant a powerful sense of smell.
Sense of smell, yes. Yeah. I think I just missed it.
But I don't know. I've never smelt a tiger, so it could be right. But yeah. So overall, I would say. The other thing is, so the idiom you used, you said to kill two birds with. I think you said
one stone.
Yeah. So that's what it is, to kill two birds with one stone. But if you listen back to this recording, you didn't quite say that, but it was close enough. So that was good.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I think you're probably at sort of the band 7 mark. Whether or not you're over the line or just under the line depends on the day, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's around that sort of level, I would say. Just work on what I said, you know, just maybe focusing on the right vocabulary for the right situation, and that is just do a lot of reading, watch a lot of English TV, and you'll start to pick this up naturally. Yeah, but overall, very good.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I will say goodbye, and I'll talk to you another time. Thanks for joining us today. Bye. Okay, guys. So, everyone still with me? Okay, good. Right, so I've got a few more exams prepared. So let's move on to a brand new one. And let's get a brand new student to join us. Okay, so when you can hear me in Zoom, just say hello. Let's check that everything's working.
Hi.
Hello. So you can hear me okay?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. So can you just tell us your name and which country you're calling from?
My name is Dad. I'm come from Vietnam.
Okay. So Dad. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna get a clean bit of paper.
Okay.
Write down some notes, and let's jump into this one. So did we do this one yet? Okay. Okay, so let me start my stop clock. Alright, so Dad, let's get in. So let's begin by talking about your hometown. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Hanoi. It is capital of Vietnam.
Okay. Are people friendly where you are from?
Yes, of course. Not only for me and any foreigner or any people who, encounter and interact with people from Vietnamese people. They also say Vietnamese people is very friendly and they are really friendly and easygoing.
how has your hometown changed since you were born?
It's changed a lot. When I was kid, my hometown is kind of cool, and my family don't have a car, a motorbike, but right now a lot of people using and driving by motorbike, and the number of motorbike has rise very, very, very much, and it's about millions motorbikes more than double or 5 times than 5 years or 10 years ago.
So now let's talk about mobile phones. Are mobile phones useful?
To me, mobile phone is very useful, and especially in the academic COVID-19.
Okay. Do cell phones have any negative effects?
Yes, when you stick your phones and you be distract your real life, and maybe when you get a smartphone, you often be disturbed by social internet, social network like YouTube or Facebook or anything like that.
How have mobile phones impacted your society?
From now, mobile phones have a lot of benefits for my social, like it's help the government to to share the information about the academics, and they connect us for they connect us, and we don't need to go out to talk to friends, or and they change from the line to the mobile line, I think.
Okay. So I'd like to ask you about forests now. Are forests important?
Yes, it's very important. Is forests prevent disasters from nature, and it's provide a lot of food and wood and medicine.
Okay. What do people like to do in forests?
There are a lot of things and activities that people can do in the forest. First, they can go camping or jog, or just go out and just go around the forest and enjoy the air and the wind.
Okay, let's jump ahead to the next part 2, and so describe a green space you like to visit, so something like a park. So I'd like you to talk about this for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start speaking, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say, and during this time you'll have time to write some notes if you'd like. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so let's give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say. So can you see the information on the screen?
Oh, yes, I can.
You can, it's okay? All right,
Yeah.
so let me give you 1 minute now.
Okay.
Okay, so remember, you have to talk about a green space you'd like to visit, and I would like you to start speaking now, please.
Uh, the green place I like to visit is the field, and I usually go to that work because Vietnam is a nation which is wet rice civilization. So anywhere have fields, and when I've been there, I feel very relaxed, and I feel like my shoulders just go down a little bit to see some amazing of the amazing of the nature. And I usually go with my friend to play some fork game, and I think it's very important to my country because the rice is the basic of life, and without that we can live. And it's also contribute to the economic of the country. Vietnam is second the second nation to export export rice, and a lot of farmer and a lot of family live on uh, field, and they work on there is it give the uh, job, and it's also contribute to health, clean the air.
Okay, thank you. So, will you visit this place this weekend?
uh yes, but right now I'm not because the social distance.
Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so let's move on. So, we were talking about green spaces. Let's talk about green spaces in general. Why are green spaces, such as parks, important in urban areas?
Can I start now?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay. uh Green places are important because the contribution uh, it- because it help people to be healthy, and it's it is a place that people usually gather to meet and to relax, to play, and it helps the kids have uh, amazing and a funny and a fun childhood. And green space also help to clean the air, and it helps us to be feel peace and quiet. And it's also is home and it's a home to many wild animals like national parks.
Okay, so how could our city parks be improved?
Well, city parks can be improved by many ways. First, people can uh, expand it, expand the space, and uh, grow more plants, more trees, and they can uh, launch some campaigns to clean the city parks, and the government can uh, use some funds to improve the infrastructure infrastructure and the traffic. If the traffic improves, city parks improve too, because the traffic is so dense to the city parks is damage the environment.
So, what are some ways that we can stop that from happening?
The awesome ways to start to the awesome way for us to stop that from happening is raising the people awareness.
Okay.
If you raising people awareness, people will take the responsibility to protect and to improve and develop the city park. And they feel like they are a part of the city park. They don't want to destroy themselves, so they will try their best to improve city parks.
Cool. Okay, good. Excellent. So let's stop there. Okay. So I think overall you're doing really well there, and I think what I would say is your sentence structure I think is pretty good, and also I like some of the expressions you're using, and you're also using some pretty high level vocabulary here and there. The only thing I would say is I found that in part 1 you didn't give a full answer sometime. So make sure that when you're answering some of these questions, it was particularly the first 1 or 2, I think you're a little bit nervous, and that happens. But just remember, when you give your main answer, try and give reasons for it. At least 1 or 2 sentences explaining why you've said that. This will help your score. But overall, I never had any problem understanding what you were trying to say. That's okay. So let me just go through some of my notes. So a good tip is always try and listen for the question, because this will tell you the grammar that you need to use. So these questions are designed because the examiner wants to hear particular grammar. So where did you grow up? You said I grow up in Hanoi. I grew up. It's past tense. So make sure you listen to the question. I asked you, how has your hometown changed? How has your hometown changed? So I'm expecting at least a response with present perfect. I think you said it changed a lot. It has changed a lot. So this is something important, okay? Always listen to the question, because it will tell you the type of grammar you need to use. Yeah. What else did I write down? So you were mentioning COVID-19 a few times, and I heard the academic COVID-19, and I was thinking, academic? Did I miss something? I think you're confusing academic and pandemic. So pandemic is what we're experiencing now. Academic is to do with study. Yeah. So that's something. Yeah. What else did I? So generally, I think the tip I would give you is, because I think your sentence structure is good. I think your vocabulary, for the most part, is pretty good. But what is escaping you sometimes is the pronunciation. For example, words like field. I'm not hearing the D sound. It's sounding a bit more like fill or fell. So what I would recommend, I did a kind of a video about this. So what did I do? So I did a we did a video, not sentence frames. This was it. So I did a video the other day, a stream, where we looked at some pronunciation. Let me show you on screen.
Okay.
So on the screen is something called a phonemic chart. These are all of the sounds in English. That's it. There's nothing more. And many of the sounds are actually repeated. They're joined together. What you should do is just go through and learn each individual vowel sound, particularly, and your consonant sounds, like the D sound we were just talking about. If you work on the individual sounds of English, this will help you with the pronunciation of words. And this is something you can improve very quickly. Yeah. So that would be something to work on. And the other thing I would say is, so is Vietnamese one of those languages, like with Chinese, where it's about tones? If you change the tone, it changes the meaning of the word. Is that correct? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I think I'm hearing this because so often you were saying a sentence. For example, you said, clean up the Park City, and the intonation went up at the end. Now, with English, we only have a rising intonation if it's a question. So, for example, do you want to go to the park? The intonation goes up because I'm asking you a question. Rather, he wants to go to the park. The intonation doesn't rise. So this is something to be aware of. We don't have a change of tone really in English. It's more intonation, and we don't use it as much as like in Vietnamese. I imagine it changes for each word. So just watch out for that. And what else did I write down? So just watch out for the difference between economy and economic. So rice is important for your economy because it's an economic driver. So economic and economy means slightly different things. And for what you were trying to tell me, I would say Vietnam is the second biggest rice producer. The second biggest rice producer. That would be good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I would say, and by the way, I loved how you said you said something about awareness, for people to get awareness and take responsibility. That was a really good phrase. So I think you're probably in a sort of band 5 to 6, but much closer to 6 than to 5. I think with just a little bit of work, slightly fuller answers, spend a bit of time working on your pronunciation, I think you'll push that up pretty quickly. Okay? So overall, very well done. Thanks for joining me. Okay? So I will say goodbye, and I'll talk to you at another time. Okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you a lot. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so how are we doing? Are we still together? Okay, so we've done this one. So at the time, looking at the time, I think we've got time to do just one more. We'll do one more test. So let's see. I've got a feeling that my Zoom has dropped out again. Okay, so let's set up one more Zoom call, and then we will do just one more, and then we'll leave it at that. Okay. So just give me just a moment. I will set up a final Zoom call. So obviously we're working on the free version. So we would love to invest a bit of money into this channel, but at the moment we're not able to do that, so we have to work for the free thing. But I mean, talking of this, are you guys enjoying these mock speaking tests? Are you feeling it's a shame that everybody can't do that? Because what we are going to do is to set this up as a service, but obviously it takes up our time. So my question to you is, how much would a mock speaking test like this, a one-on-one service, not a live stream, but just you and me or Michael talking to each other, how much would that be worth to you? So I'd be interesting to know. So if you think that's worth money, how much would you pay for that? Just tell me the number and maybe the country that you live in so I can figure out the currency. If you think it would be worth nothing, you tell me nothing. If you think you'd pay a little bit of money to do that in your own time, let me know as well. Of course, we're going to carry on doing this hopefully every Friday, but as you can see, we're only able to do a few people live because there's only one of me today. But just let me know, is that worth anything to you? If it's not, then we should know. If it is, we'd love to know that as well. So I'm going to set up one more meeting. We're going to take the first person who joins this one and we'll do one more test. Okay, so I put in the so we've got the new meeting information. So let's join, do another, start this meeting. So if there's anyone who would like to join me for this Zoom, we'll do one more and I'll speak to the first person who jumps in. Okay, so I think I've got a candidate. The new meeting information. Okay. So oh, I can hear myself. Is that what I sound like? Oh dear. So if there's anyone. Okay, so are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So should we do it, Lynn?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. And just remind me, which country are you calling from?
I normally from Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
are really yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, let's do this one. Let's do some practice. Right. So let's begin by talking about your hometown. Tell me about your hometown. Tell me about your hometown.
Okay, my hometown is very beautiful place. I think so because I have traveled around a lot of places, and our people are very friendly. So they almost help the other person, even though they are strangers. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. What was your favorite place to go as a child?
When I was a child, my favorite place I normally to go is basketball court. Yeah, because I love to play basketball and exercise when I was young in the elementary school. Yeah.
Was there a dangerous part of your hometown?
I reckon the most dangerous part in my hometown is in the on the road because a traffic accident is always on my in my life. Yeah, so I think the most dangerous place is on the road, because a lot of drivers, they don't see each other, even though kind of a person, they almost rush into on the road. Yeah.
So now let's talk about gaming.
Okay.
Do you like to play video games?
Yeah, definitely. I love to play video games because I love to play computer. I have a PS4 in my room, so I normally play video game with my friend in the weekend, so we can have some game on the night or chatting with the others. Yeah, they make a lot of people from the internet. Yeah, it's very funny.
Why have video games become popular?
I think I reckon the reason the game will be popular because of the people, they can make a lot of fun with each other, or they can kill time and the more with a more stranger. Yeah, so I think the video game, even they will be very famous because they have some reason, something like that I mentioned before. They can make a lot of the friend or chatting on with the others. Yeah.
Should children be allowed to play video games?
I think the children cannot play video game because they will play video game will hurt their eyes, because a lot of children in Taiwan, they will wear the glasses when they are still in the elementary school. So I think it's not healthy to play the video game. If when they are the children, yeah. So maybe they can play basketball, take some exercise after school. It could be better. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to ask you about volcanoes now.
Oh, okay.
Are there any volcanoes in your country?
I know a little bit volcano in our country, especially the north of Taiwan, but I think it's not dangerous right now because it's a sleeper volcano. Yeah, so maybe when I was a child, my parents will take me to the volcano. Yeah, maybe some hot spring, or you can burn the eggs on the hot water. Yeah. Okay.
Why are volcanoes considered dangerous?
Excuse me. Can you say again?
Yeah. Why are volcanoes considered dangerous?
I think I reckon the volcano, they will be the dangerous place because of they will burn some lava in history. Yeah. So I reckon some kind of volcano, they will hurt the environment or the place people they live in, and some animals, their hobby will be broken. So I reckon some kind of a volcano will be dangerous. Yeah.
Okay. Should people be allowed to live near volcanoes?
I reckon people, they can depend on the conventional on the volcanoes Yeah, because some kind of a volcano, uh, they will still sleep. Yeah, they cannot burn out some fire on the air. So I think people should not leave the volcano. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like you to describe a type of natural disaster from your country. Okay. You're going to have to talk about this for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you start speaking, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you want to say. During this time, you can take notes if you wish. Do you understand?
I understand totally. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So, are you able to see the screen in front of you, Lin? Can you see the information?
Okay. Wait a minute. You say the.
If not, I can read the information to you if you would like me to.
Okay, I got the information.
Okay, great.
On YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute to think about what you want to say, and then after that, you're going to talk for 2 minutes today. Okay, so here is 1 minute to think.
2 minutes to talk. Okay.
Yeah, so you got. Let me give you. So 1 minute to think now, and then afterwards you talk for 2 minutes. Okay, are you ready? So thinking.
I'm ready.
Okay, 1 minute to think.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, I'd like you to talk about a natural disaster from your country, and you can start talking now.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the disaster. Is a typhoon. Yeah. Especially the kind a name of Yanhua typhoon. Yeah. The Chinese Mandarin is Yanhua, and the English meaning is firework. Yeah, firework typhoon is pass over the Taiwan, but it didn't touch in Taiwan, but it bring a lot of rainwater, bring a lot of water in Taiwan, so it will cause a fall in Taiwan. So in Taipei it's still raining, and a lot of people will stay at home because the typhoon will make hard to their home. So maybe even though you are parking your vehicle in some place, maybe out of the city, they will still make your vehicle broken. So I think the typhoon is the typically disaster for my country. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, is that the typhoon we were having today? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, typhoon.
Yeah. I went for a walk. I got completely soaked. Okay, so let's move to part 3. So we were talking about natural disasters. Let's talk about them in general. Okay, so that's a typo. Let's talk about them in general, not them. Okay, so the question, why do people live in areas where natural disasters happen?
Do you mean when typhoon in disaster when people live in?
I mean, for example, in the United States, there is a place where lots of twisters happen, and people live there, and they happen every year. Why do people live in places like that?
Oh, okay, I got it. So what? I have 1 minute to prepare, or
You have to start speaking now. It's part 3. This is the difficult part.
okay. Because of people, they will make a live on their own, so they cannot live from the dangerous place, because they have some family, they have some relationship with the land, or they have some relative on their country, from the countryside. Yeah. So sometimes in Taiwan, there is some Aboriginal. They still live in the mountain, because they reckon the countryside, they have some feeling or patient or heart to their land or their old people. They need to take care. Yeah. So they will not live in a dangerous place. They will hunting or fishing or they will give some make money on their own. Yeah.
Okay. How can the government help protect its citizens from natural disasters?
I reckon the government, they will give some money, especially in the super situation, like give us some kind of money for typhoon or the nature disaster. I think is the most example. The most famous example is 911. Yeah. So it's an earthquake in Taiwan. It's a big earthquake. So government will provide some money or job opportunity to people they lose their home or their family. Yeah.
Okay. And should rich countries always help poor countries hit by natural disasters, or hit by a natural disaster? Sorry.
I reckon the Taiwan is a famous example, helping helper to the other country. They will provide some condition or people to their country. Maybe they will excuse some people in the accident, or doctor or nurse to helping people searching for the people they are still alive. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's leave it there. So if we go through it, so overall, I feel like you had something to say about everything, which is good. Just sometimes I felt like you were not sure about the words you wanted to use, and sometimes the ideas weren't linked together. So that it just comes with practice. Probably you don't speak English very often, probably, right? It's just it's practice. It's weird to speak in a foreign language, and you just got to do it a little bit more. So what I would say is you should concentrate on reading and watching TV. You need to build your vocabulary. And the best way to do this is if you read in English about anything, not even IELTS, anything. If you like basketball, read about the NBA in English, okay? Because any English that you learn will help you with your grammar structures. It will help you pick up vocabulary. And reading and watching TV is a great way to do this, okay? So that's something you should do. 20 minutes reading something, 20 minutes watch a series on Netflix, okay? Even if you've got Chinese subtitles, it still will help you get kind of used to the language, and you will pick up things. In the future, you can watch it with English subtitles. That will help you as well, okay? So, just for example, some of the things you could have said. So we were talking about, I think, video games. And you mentioned that video games are very funny. But there's a difference between funny and fun. So fun, when you enjoy yourself. Funny, when you laugh. So watch out. This is a common mistake. Fun and funny. We were talking about volcanoes.
Yeah.
And you very well, you explained exactly what you meant. You said a volcano that is sleeping or asleep. That's a really good way, because the real word, the proper word is a bit difficult. It's dormant. D-O-R-M-A-N-T. A dormant volcano is one that's asleep. But you explained exactly what you meant, so I understood what you meant. But the word is dormant, so that would be a good word to use there. Also, now I've seen this. You were talking about cooking eggs. Were you talking about? Is it in Yangmingshan where you cook eggs in the hot? Yeah, it's in the hot springs.
Yeah. Hot spring.
Yeah. So hot spring would be the right word. Yeah, my friend did that. That's quite funny. Yeah. Okay. What else? We were talking about the typhoon, and you said it didn't touch Taiwan. What you could say is it didn't make landfall. Landfall, Landfall. It's one word. Landfall means to touch, to hit the island. Yeah. So make landfall would be a great one. Yeah. Now, you mentioned a disaster. You said 911, and I thought, oh, is he talking about 9/11? What happened in America? And then you explained what you meant, the big earthquake. That was very well done. So when you say something, if you can paraphrase or explain what you mean, that's a really good way of making sure the examiner knows what you mean. Okay. So, and the other thing I would say, similar to what I said to Dat just before, is working on your pronunciation, particularly words that you do not have in Mandarin Chinese. Okay. So one of the words, one of the sounds you don't have is, if I enlarge it on the screen, is this sound, the th in think. Okay. And so you don't have this sound in your language. So instead of saying th, you're actually saying s, sink. Yeah. So this is a sound that you can learn to make. It's just teaching your mouth how to make it. And you can find lots of YouTube videos about this. Or if you join us tomorrow with the group speaking class, Michael can help you with this sound. He's going to be there live to help with speaking skills tomorrow. And another common error is with speakers of Mandarin, you struggle with the R in red and L in love. So you were talking about the road, but I heard load. I heard load, and it sounded it should be road. So the point is, these are the only sounds in English. There aren't many, and you can just go through and practice them individually, and that will help you with getting the right word. Okay? No.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, so Michael and I, we are English teachers. We understand everything you say because that's our career. Like everything you say, even if it's very far from what you mean. But the examiner is pretending to be a normal English speaker, and normal English speakers do not understand anything. So this is why, although I know that you're saying think, I know that you're saying road, you've got to work on just these little sounds. Okay? And there are certain sounds in your language that do not exist. There are certain sounds in my language that do not exist in your language, and you've got to learn those. And it's things like th and the, and things like the r and l sounds. Okay, yeah. So overall, I think you're sort of in band 5 to 6, perhaps a little bit closer to 5. It's because you've got to extend your answers a little bit more. But I think you've got the basics. If you just keep building your vocabulary, building your grammar, work a little bit on those sounds we worked on just now, you're going to improve as you go along. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Helpful.
Yeah, overall, very well done. So thanks very much. And I'll say goodbye. Enjoy your weekend. Okay?
You too. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. I don't know where I am. So, let's go back just to our normal channel. Right. So, don't forget. Right, we've got a few things that you can do. So, if it loads up, very slow internet. So don't forget, you can join us tomorrow. So Michael will be doing a group speaking class, and we'll do some streaming, okay? And we'll do some streaming on Sunday for a full exam. The other thing you can do is, if you want, you can jump into the Discord channel, which if you come to our webpage, the IELTSGrind.com, you can click on Discord, and this will bring you to the group. And if you guys want to practice chatting with each other, you can come here, okay? And the only other thing to mention is, if you didn't manage to talk to me today and you're interested in finding out how to get a mock speaking exam, get your estimated band score, you can come to our services mock speaking exam. This one isn't on the live stream, it's just between us, and you can find out details about that. Alternatively, you can send an email to speaking@theieltsgrind.com, and we'll give you information about this new service where you get your estimated band score. Okay, so thanks very much for joining me. Hopefully you guys found that useful, and enjoy your weekend. But don't forget, tomorrow Michael is going to help you with all of the feedback I've given today. So if there's something I said today, ask Michael about it tomorrow, and he can give you some practical exercises. That's his job tomorrow. Okay guys, thanks very much, and talk to you later. Bye.